The Eisenhower Executive Office building was filled with history and legacy as descendants of Ida B. Wells, Malcolm X, Emmett Till, and more were present. What's dark, rich, and capable of sparking a lifetime of family secrets? Black Cake. That is also the title of a new family drama on Hulu that came out on November 1st. A survey conducted by Piper Sandler stated that there has been a 20% increase in interest in beauty and skincare products from Generation Alpha. The next phase of this mushroom magic is to meet that pasteurization with sanitization in order to ensure that no other contaminants compete with the growing of the fungi. The 1955 D.C. Election Code was amended to pass the Local Resident Voting Act of 2022, granting voting rights in local elections to all D.C. residents of at least 30 days, regardless of citizenship. Local positions that residents are now eligible to vote for include mayor, attorney general, chairman/member of the council, and more. This new right did not come without pushback, as community organizer Kush Karad shares that various organizers have collectively been advocating for this bill.
This legislation has taken a decade for organizers to pass. They've always faced roadblocks such as conservative pushback or myths about immigrants. We started, our main push was to have folks who have DACA or TPS statuses get the right to vote. Our biggest challenge was to convince council that not only should they have the chance to vote, but all residents, regardless of their immigration status, should have the right to vote.
Last July, Congresswoman Eleanor Norton was one of many who opposed the bill, sharing that D.C. residents are worthy and capable of governing their own local affairs.
This does not take away from their voting power. Often when you franchise other folks who already have the vote are like, what about us?
The American Immigration Council reports immigrants make up 14% of the D.C. population. We interviewed two types of D.C. immigrants to hear their perspectives on this. Reporter Maya Trujillo translates.
Well, it's important for us immigrants. It's important so we can elect a good candidate who will help us all, not just white people, but everyone.
For what America is, a country of immigrants, for everybody's immigrants, it comes somewhere. I think things are evolving so far by time, things are changing.
We thought of it in very simple terms. If you go to work here, if you go to school here, you deserve a chance to say what the community looks like.
D.C. Board of Elections shares that 23 people have registered so far as non-citizens. For News Vision, I'm Amya Henry. A historical MLK weekend made for a historical start to the week as D.C. received its first major snowfall in over 2 years. The Washington Post's Capitol Weather Gang reported officially 4.1 inches of snow at Reagan National Airport, which breaks a 728-day streak without at least 1 inch of snow in a calendar day. Stretching down Connecticut Avenue and beyond, D.C. pedestrians and workers react in different ways to this rare sight of white.
So I've been working for UPS for about 4 years. In the DC area, it's very rare we get snowstorms like this, but it's not bad. I don't really care to work in the snow. I like the snow, but I don't care to work in it.
Despite its chilly nature, this blanket of snow is providing DC residents with some comfort as the Executive Office of the Mayor announced Tuesday morning a closure of all federal offices and DC public schools.
This is his first real snow that he'll be able to remember, so I think this is going to be great. Today we went sledding with his friends from school. He's 4, so he is in pre-K, and he had so much fun.
Whether or not you are a fan of the snow, analyst Rebecca Tapio shares how the implications of climate change have caused days like these to come later in the year and what it could ultimately lead to.
I don't mind it. Well, I work in climate change, so it's concerning to me that it has taken us this long to get snow again. We're seeing a lot more rain, a lot warmer temperatures. You're getting more severe rainstorms, less snowstorms. But just generally, the more rain you have, the less snow you have, the more time you're going to have a lot more flooding.
Sledding, trudging, or concerned about flooding, DC has marked this day as memorable for all. From HU News Service, I'm Amya Henry.
My Sephora card is like $1,000 right now.
Sephora kids are taking the internet by storm as preteens flock to the cosmetic store for adult-targeted beauty and skincare products like
Rare Beauty, Tower 28.
Howard University assistant psychology professor Davis Dixon shares the potential root of this beauty buzz from a developmental perspective.
The notion of like social learning theory, where we learn from those around us and we learn by seeing what they do, how they're rewarded by their actions. And so you have this kind of relationship between I am a child and I see influencers who are rewarded or reinforced with followers and brand deals. Well, I want the same kinds of things.
A survey conducted by Piper Sandler stated that there has been a 20% increase in interest in beauty and skincare products from Generation Alpha.
We sat down with beauty enthusiast Talitha and her daughter Taryn
to see how this statistic comes to life in our local preteens.
I'm in 5th grade and I don't go to Sephora, I go to Ulta. And the products I use is the Good Molecules facial cleanser, the moisturizer.
Marketing transformation agency Razorfish cites Gen A as having a more mature taste in brands, which can explain this newfound fascination and brand awareness. Talitha finds that with Ulta, Taryn is able to interact with these trends without breaking the bank.
It's important that the girls these days are learning self-care and skincare early. There is a limit, like she doesn't need to have products that are hundreds of dollars. Raising Gen Alpha kids, you have to be vigilant, making sure that you're aware of what they're exposed to and monitoring that, but also not keeping them too sheltered.
For News Vision, I'm Amya Henry. Now on to a developing story in the district. DC police are investigating a series of overnight shootings. One of them left a man dead and another injured a teen. The District of Columbia is changing its definition of what it means to be a qualified elector. When it comes to local elections, non-citizen residents of the district are now able to cast their vote. Now from BET to the Queen Bee, Cowboy Carter, Beyonce's newest album, has the Beehive buzzing.
Yes, and you're from Houston. What's your favorite song from the album?
Definitely Texas Hold'em.